Okay, I actually wanted to make this alive, but it seems like my connection keeps breaking down, so I'll just record it and then post it. And actually, I just wanted to share something about synchronicities and how they appear, and basically what you need to do in the first place is to just set yourself reminders of being present. So the way it works is often we get entangled in our thoughts or in our emotions or in whatever's going on in our minds, and often what happens is we disconnect from that part of us that is actually bigger. So bigger doesn't mean that it's better. It just means that it's sort of more all encompassing. And the way to tune more into your bigger self, as in your higher self and all these different dimensions that we are made of, is by becoming present. And this is why meditation is so important in the spiritual aspects of life, because when you meditate, you're basically bringing your mind into the same focus and into the same alignment. So it's almost like you're creating mini meditation spots, and you're just becoming aware that there's more than just you and your thoughts and this world you live in, with the problems that you have or the stuff that's going on. So it's almost like you're not ignoring, which is very different. So you're not actually ignoring the world or ignoring what's happening around you. It's more like you're broadening your own horizons. And so what I did in the beginning was to just set myself little alarms of tuning in. So I would, once in a day or twice in a day, I'd have an alarm that would remind me of, hey, there's more than you, or hey, there's more to you than just wherever you are. So that would actually also help me to connect with what was actually going on in my own body. So it's almost like a reminder of, okay, stop. What are you thinking right now? How are you feeling right now? What's your body feeling like? Like what's going on physically? Do you need to drink something, or do you need to rest? Do you need to scream? Or, so it's just like finding ways to connect with whatever is there already. And then as you do that more often, you start to almost develop a habit. So in the beginning, you still need that alarm, right? To develop this habit. And then what I did as well is, because I didn't want to have my phone ringing like constantly during the day, I actually, in a meditation, connected with my guides. And this helps, it doesn't matter whether you're connected with your spirit guides or not. It really doesn't matter whether you believe in this stuff or not, because there is an energy outside of you that is working anyway. So what I've done, and this was actually in the beginning when I wasn't very sure whether there was spirit guides or not, I actually just asked them, hey guys, can you, if you are there, can you give me reminders or gentle things that will just, connect me to myself without me having to, remember on my own. And this is how synchronicity started to appear in my life. And in the beginning, I was just like, this is so random. I've seen this again, And this is actually because I was also working on the alarms that I was setting myself. And it's almost like I started to create these habits of connecting more and more with this bigger aspect of me and of life. And this is not just me, because we are just energy. We're just this big mass of energy. So what I wanted to say is that when you're actually connecting with this bigger aspect of you, it's almost like the universe starts to see and understand, although it already knows, but you are becoming open and open. It's almost like you're opening the door, and that door is open for new things to be perceived and to be understood. And you're actually looking for it as well. And this is how I started to see rubber bands everywhere. And I was like, what is this stuff? Like, why am I seeing rubber bands? And in the beginning, I just found it funny. I just thought, oh yeah, it's rubber bands. Oh, another one. Oh, how interesting, right? And then I started to realize, wait, maybe this is a reminder or some form of, sign that my guides were doing, because I asked my guides, and I for a very long time, I didn't even connect both of them together. I didn't even know that you could have something in the real world actually connecting you to, the spirit world. Of course, for me now, this is quite obvious, but that's just because of my experience. And I'm not saying that you need to believe everything I'm saying. I'm just saying this is what I've learned, and this is how these things started to come about. And so I started to understand that these rubber bands would, in the beginning, pop up whenever I was hugely disconnected, as in, I was worrying about something, and I was, just like not in that space where you're just like peace, zen. And it's almost like it was working like a funnel for me to pinpoint whatever was going on in the present moment. And now it's almost transformed, and maybe it's because my life has transformed over the last few years quite a bit. Some of you know this, but especially over the last year, where everything sort of started to become more fluid. And so the rubber bands now appear in order to confirm things. So it's not just to wake me up, but it's whenever I'm having a thought that is actually meaningful, that is actually important. And this is what's really interesting, is that now they also start to appear in other people's lives, which is very funny. So now I get people like literally sending me pictures of rubber bands, and they go, Lizzie, I was just thinking about you. And truly, it's not about me. It's not about the elastic band. I just want to say, whenever you see something, and this can be anything. So some people actually manifest stars. Like some friends of mine manifest stars. Actually, a friend I'm staying with, she sees stars everywhere. And she's not spiritual. She just, notices them. And I started to notice other things as well. Like things like hearts or feathers or little pieces of fluff that suddenly appear in my life, and hairpins I've noticed. And often, you can also connect, like, what is it that you think this symbol means. So for example, in the beginning, the elastic bands, I didn't know very often what they were for, and I actually connected with someone who is a theta healer, and he said, well, they mean expansion, and they also mean safety bands. So at the moment you still need safety bands in order to fly, because you can actually fly. Well, this is sort of just a symbolical or an energetic symbol, if you will. But what's interesting is now the rubber bands actually, to me, mean expansion, and also they mean the infinity. So now I don't only see rubber bands as such, but they also come in like different patterns. Sometimes they'll appear in an 8 or in a heart shape even. So that's, it's important for you to start noticing, right? So don't just notice what's going on inside of you, but also notice what's happening around you, like who's with you right now, And in the beginning, it just seems like, oh, it's just a little nudge, right? For you to connect more with the present moment and, with whatever is going on. And then slowly you'll start to build that muscle. You'll start to build this connection. You'll find that these symbols will not just appear as a wake-up call, but also they will have almost like meanings or representations. And I know this sounds very woo-woo for some of you, and you go, whatever, Lizzie. And that's fine. I'm not saying you need to believe this. I'm just saying for those who want to connect more with synchronicities and who want to find out how this works, this is what I've understood so far. And they literally appear at very crucial moments. Like, I was helping my brother out this week because he was proposing to his girlfriend. It was like such a beautiful thing, and it was so beautiful, and I was so honored to be able to help. And I was just, I had just finished, setting up and having the decoration. I was literally just waiting for them to come from the restaurant, and I didn't know when they were going to come. And I just stopped, and I just said, wow, this is so cool. This is so beautiful. This is so special. It was such a beautiful moment, obviously, that was going to happen. And I looked down, and there's a rubber band, right? And it was like on the top of Primrose Hill, like, and it's in the strangest moments. And I actually started to relax now. I'm like, yeah, I will see them anywhere, everywhere now. It doesn't matter, where it is anymore. What matters is what's going on in that moment. And in that moment, I was just so filled with love and with, beautiful, joyful feelings. And it just came as a confirmation. And This is really funny. I just looked down and I kid you not, this is what's there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. So this is probably a sign. I need to let you guys go. I was literally just walking through Paris. I was just walking, okay? And I was talking to you guys and I stopped for a moment, and it's so funny how this happened. I was not expecting this at all. Right. Gigi, there's my little energy. So now I also see them as energy portals, because when they're actually on the floor, almost creates like a pillar of light or something. So this is ace. This is super ace. The total random synchronicities. Now, this is a hologram. It can change. And wherever you guys are at, whether you feel happy or sad, it doesn't matter. It's almost like your feelings are worthy of being felt. And this life has so many lessons, and it's beautiful. And I just want to share that, you know, even if you are in a deep right now, just remember, there's more to you. There's so much more. There's, you know, this is a hologram. It changes. I'm in Paris right now. Tomorrow I'm going to be back in London. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. It doesn't matter where you are in your mind, in your feelings. You are worthy of experiencing this hologram as a changing, constant changing, moving, dancing place. And I'm going to share more about this, because I want to share more about how we can dance more with life and how we can dance with all these energies. But yeah, that's it for now. I think I should keep this rubber band. I'm going to walk back and actually keep it, because I think it's quite nice. Like, why did I find this rubber band? I love it. I'm going to keep this because I was totally not expecting it. Yes, I'm picking up dirt in the street. Doesn't matter. All right, guys. I love you. Lots of love. You know, stay present.